Hey guys, how's it going? I just wanted to do a little demo real quick and kind of talk about the order of my pedals on my board right here. So this is the Pedal Train PT Pro, just with the soft case. It's actually in the case right now. And on the board I'm powering it with a DC brake, which is right here, and then a Voodoo Lab pedal power, which is right there. And then normally you can actually see the Voodoo Lab logo, but for my purposes I actually mounted it upside down. With all the cabling that I already had run, that was actually the easiest way to mount it on there. Before I had that, I had a daisy chain, but I really like that so far. So let's go ahead and get started. First pedal on the chain, right here, I've got the Digitech Expression Factory, and this is a really good wah pedal just because it's so dynamic. It has a whole bunch of different modes in it that it can do. Wah pedal, it's got a classic Crybaby wah, it has a Vox wah, it has a Leslie rotary, and then it has the Rat Proco distortion and a bunch of other things that you can do. It's pretty cool. And I like having my wah before my distortion, not necessarily first, but just for fitting purposes it was easier to put it right here. And I like having the wah first in the chain because I found that when you put the wah after your distortion pedals, when you rock it forward, when you bring those highs in, it's really sharp and kind of piercing and unpleasant to the ear. And so I just have this first in my chain, and from there we go out into the noise suppressor, the NS2 from Boss. Good pedal. This just helps take out buzz and hum, especially if I'm stacking my overdrives or if I have dirty power. A lot of times if you're playing in a room that only has one circuit, you're pulling a lot of power between your amps and stuff, and so I found that this works really well, just to take that buzz and that hum out. And from there we go out into the MXR Dynacomp compression pedal. For the price, it's a really solid compressor. Eventually I think I want to go with the Kiwi, but I like this one for now. It's a really solid pedal. Out from the compression, we go into the full drive. It's original American white knob. It's a handwritten serial and everything. This is a great pedal. I really like this. I really like the tone that I get out of this. From there we go into I have an STS9, and then into the BB preamp. And those are my 3 distortion pedals. I like having them this close because oftentimes I'll have the verse on, the TS9 on for the verse, and then I'll use the BB preamp for the chorus or the full drive for the chorus. And so it's nice because if I place my foot properly, I can actually turn the one off and the other on, or like that, and that works really well. And then from there we go into the Trackhouse Cream Boost pedal. I haven't seen too many of these, but I found it on eBay. It was really moderately priced, and it's a hand-wired pedal. That's just a booster, and for solos and stuff, for leads. And it's really nice because you always want to have your booster pedal after your distortions, because if you have it before, it'll essentially act like an overdrive. It will boost the volume a little bit, but having it afterward is just a preamp that just really boosts the level of your pedals. With the noise suppressor, I see a lot of people who don't exactly do this correctly. You're supposed to have it in a chain. So you have your output, your input, output, and then a send and return. So my input is where the signal comes from, which is the wah pedal, and then the output is where I send it to, but the send and return is the actual chain. So inside of the chain I have the compressor, these 3 distortions, and then my booster, and then that completes the chain right here. I have the output of the booster that goes back into this, and that goes back into the return right here, and then I have the output which leads to the micropog. And that's the best way to run the noise suppressor. A lot of people just put it straight up into in their chain, and that's it's somewhat effective, but I found that it's more effective to have it in a chain. And yeah, it works really well. Let's go to the micropog. Good octave pedal. You can do a lot with it. I really enjoy it. From there we go into the volumes, the Ernie Ball volume pedal. Really good for doing swells and stuff. I like to just bring that in. I used to use the Ernie Ball. I used to back it off, kind of back it off like this, and then for solos I'd stomp on the nose. But the problem with that was continuity, consistency. I wouldn't be able to back it off to the exact same volume and whatnot, and it got really frustrating. I have a tuner out for my tuner out of the volume. That's the Polytune from TC Electronics Polyphonic Tuner, great tuner. Now Digitech, the Hardwire, makes one, and there are a few others that I've seen, but for a while it was the only polyphonic tuner on the market. From the volume, we go to the Super Trim by Full Tone. This is a really awesome pedal. I wasn't sure if I should go with this one or with the Tremulator. I listened to a lot of demos online and read a lot of reviews, and finally went with this one, and Full Tone has yet to let me down, and I really like it. From there we go into the Hardwire stereo chorus. I'm actually not playing it in stereo right now. And, eventually I'll probably switch these two pedals and put the Hardwire right here and start stereo right here, and then we can go into the Blue Sky. But for now I just have it running like this. After the Hardwire we have the Old School Boss. Old School Boss digital delay and sampler, and for a stomp box size, it can actually do quite a bit. It's a really cool pedal. It's really old. It's kind of scratched, as you can see, and I really like this pedal. It adds a lot of tone. I typically use this. I just let it sit beneath my signal for leads. It just kind of fattens the tone. I have the level down, the feedback down, and the time down as well. But it's a really solid pedal. From there we go into the Blue Sky reverberator from Strymon. If you've never seen or heard of Strymon, they make unbelievable pedals. Strymon.net, I would totally recommend just about any of the pedals that they have. They have a really cool D-tape echo. They've got a rotary simulator. They've got a whole bunch of their timeline delay is a really cool pedal. Really good delay pedal. And that's where the Strymon is where stereo starts. We have the mono in right here, and then we have the stereo outs, George L's. And that goes into the RV5, which is a really good digital reverb pedal. And the modulate setting on this is unlike anything I've ever heard. You could probably replicate it with a slight delay and a really slight chorus and a reverb, but it's nice to be able to do it all in one. A lot of times I find I engage the RV5 and then I'll do swells with the volume, and it just sounds really nice. I really like it. From there we go into the TC Electronic Nova delay. Really solid pedal for the price, and for it being a stereo pedal. It can do ping pong and pan. I love both of those modes. They really provide a lot of color and a lot of solid tone. A lot of times fans or audience members, they don't even realize what they're hearing when they're hearing it in stereo, but it sounds so nice, and it's really great. You can do quite a bit with it. You preset modes and stuff like that. There's modulation on there. You can add slight chorus to it and stuff, which is cool. And then going out, we have the Digitech Jamman Stereo. Really good looper pedal. I found that I use this more for myself than I do with my band and with lives and stuff. It's just more something that I'll loop something and then I'll practice over the top of it. It's provided me with hours and hours of good practice time thus far. It's got a lot of, you can do reverse mode. It has a whole bunch of preset drum settings which you can do, which are kind of cool. I can set the recording mode. You just got your record, play, overdub, and then stop, and then you have loop up and down. It's really solid. The Jamman and the Expression Factory take 1300 microamps for output power. It takes more than your standard pedal. Most pedals are 9 volts at 300 microamps, but these take more, and so these have their own plug. If you look over here, I've got my power running into a little power strip, and that's these are the power cables for the Expression Factory and the Jamman. But yeah, that's essentially that's my board. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to let me know. Leave a comment, and last thing. I actually got this idea from a YouTube user, Tube Screamer. He has a lot of demos and videos and stuff. Some of the pedals on my board I actually got after watching demos of him demo those pedals, the Super Trem and the BB preamp being probably the most important ones. But yeah, just nice to have picks in there and stuff, and so it's nice because I just look on the bottom and can put it, wherever I want to put it or whatever. And that's my board. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free.